So there's been disturbing reports about police. They're not shooting black people or Indians for that matter.
Well, I'm sure they are somewhere.
Well, yeah, okay. It's another day yet, so there's still time for them to do it. There's been some people talking to police. Police have been mentioning the fact that they don't like to actually be proactive anymore. In the visible minority communities because they don't want to come across as racist. They don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called bigots. They don't want bad optics.
And this is all because of one of these. Because of your telephone, and what comes in your telephone is a camera. And what people are doing is they're taking videos. And they're videotaping a lot of more police encounters nowadays are being videotaped and put all over the internet. And in some instances, not all, some instances they're being taken out of context. And if you've been a long time follower of our channel, which all of you have been,
Yep.
you will know that we've said it many times that the world nowadays with social media and the 24-hour news cycle takes things out of context. A lot.
Yeah, it's rather interesting. With all the shootings that have happened, all the perceived perceptions of cops shooting lots of black people, you get this impression that all cops are racist, but they're not. And unfortunately, a lot of the cops, I actually read an article here about police officers in Calgary saying they would rather wait for a call to come in and then respond instead of trying to be proactive and
Trying
stop
to prevent
things.
the crime. They'd rather wait for the crime to happen and respond to a call because then
At least there are no bad optics because all it takes is for a white policeman to walk up to a black man and all of a sudden the cameras are out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, if he fit a description, what are you supposed to do? Just let him walk away?
Cops are more concerned about being racially, being accused of racial profiling and stuff like nowadays because of the cameras and because, if you look at a video, anybody with editing software can go, oh, I have a 5-minute video, but 35 seconds fits the narrative that I would have put out there. Mm-hmm. So you put that 35 seconds out there, and there's 5 minutes before that explain the context of the 35 seconds better than you want people to see. So you put that 35 seconds out there. Now it's, oh, look, this cop is beating up a black person because it's racist. But that 5 minutes before, it shows that the black person was attacking, or the white person, or whoever that person was attacking the police officer.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
And that's what it's all about nowadays, is narrative. It's so easy for people to take out the things that don't fit into their narrative and just apply what they want to a situation to make it fit. Because we see it too much nowadays.
Nobody's doing the work to look deeper into the video or to the story or anything like that. Nobody wants to do that anymore. They take it at face value. Yeah,
and we're starting to see some of the cracks in the facade in a lot of industries now. The PC leader in Ontario, Patrick Brown, he's starting to fight back against his accusers, and one of the accusers has changed her story. And all of a sudden, with the changed story, it changes the narrative.
You can look at this whole Me Too movement, the whole sexual assault movement. It's
and you can kind of run it through the same filter.
Everybody, it's guilt. Everybody's socially guilty. What's that called? Fuck, I can't. It's in the brain, but everybody's mobbed by
mob mentality.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, you're accused of sexual assault. You're a rapist. You're vilified. And it's like the same way with police. You're shown in a video in a small context, and now you're vilified. Your career could potentially be ruined because of the context of whatever was put out there. It's like, remember Creepcatcher?
Yep.
They would put out videos but they wouldn't put out the whole detail of everything that was happening. They would put out the context and the narrative that they wanted you to view. And
were they really that selective?
I'm not 100% sure, but there was cases where, but that's an example. So you hear about, baby Tom has an incurable disease or something, or has something wrong. Over that one video of the kid who got bullied, right? That went viral, and everybody was like, yeah, let's stand up for this kid. And then it turned out the backstory behind it, he was himself being a bully, using the N-word and stuff like that. And it's like, so the context of these videos may not be the whole story sometimes.
Yes. And personally, I don't want my cops feeling like they have to treat every situation with kid gloves.
Yeah.
I would prefer them to use a little bit of excessive force and then go, you know what, maybe that was too much, and apologize for it, than to have a situation...
To be scared to do their job.
Yeah, there was a situation with a shooting in the States where the FBI had gotten a tip about a kid. The FBI dropped the ball dramatically in that situation. And I don't want anywhere for policemen or CIA or FBI or agencies to feel that they can't move ahead with anything because of a person's race.
I would rather them look into something and it be nothing than them not look into it and be something. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, there's such a fine line between invasion of privacy and police investigation. Obviously, you can't just walk into somebody's house and be like, hey.
Yeah, police do actually have to go through certain channels. They have to have probable cause. Obviously, if police are just pulling over a black person because they're black, we want that police officer to have...
We want that police officer investigated. If there's
case by case, by example,
cop Y pulls over all the black people, then obviously you should look into that. But if it's like, I just pulled this one black guy over, but I've pulled 25 Hispanics,
the context is like throughout his entire day. How many people did he pull over? 100? How many of them were black? 1?
3.
Oh. Yeah. And you're focusing on that one black guy, even though 99 other people weren't?
Even though the context of 100 is like, so 1% of 100, you know what I mean? It's just, I think we need to be careful. Because we're starting to vilify the people who are supposed to be keeping us safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's so weird because, being a white person, I've been taught my entire life that you respect the badge, not necessarily the person, the badge, the uniform. But when I talk to colored people, they don't. Right off the bat, it's like, all cops are bad, and it's like, why? Well, because they hate black people. No,
my thought on police is this: I don't have a problem with the police officer. I have a problem with the laws that they're enforcing in most situations. Like, you're chasing people for marijuana when you shouldn't be. You're chasing people for prostitution when you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, you're pulling over somebody at 3 a.m. for making an illegal right turn for no reason. Like, okay, it's 3 a.m. Like, you made an illegal turn. Okay, could that person be drunk?
Pull them over and make sure they're okay. And if they're okay, send them on their way.
Don't give them a ticket. Be like, hey, just... You know what I mean?
And
that goes for everybody.
But that's the thing. Some cops are like that. Some are pretty forgiving. Some are a little bit more anal.
More should be forgiving, because it's like, to me, it's like...
But that's the thing. It's a balance.
Yeah, there has to be a balance. If I didn't harm anybody, why am I being given a... It's monetary. That's all, like, tickets are, is monetary. And that's what I have a problem with. So I have a problem with the law. I have a problem with that kind of thing. I don't have a problem with the police officers themselves.
They're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
We don't have to like the fact that they're doing their job, but you don't hate them. You don't hate the uniform. You don't hate the badge.
There's so many people screaming at the computer screens going, "Don't break the law, you idiot!" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, I do that actually. It's like, if you're not driving.
That's what I do to you guys.
Well, okay. But it is one of those things, is like, if you're not breaking the law, you're not likely going to be pulled over, right? One of the colored fellows that I talk with, he's like, I got pulled over for speeding yesterday. And he's like, did you get a ticket? It's like, yeah. Were you speeding? And he's like, well, yeah, but he didn't have to pull me over. I'm like...
But you were speeding, so he pulled you over. Like in those instances,
he pulled me over. No, and he's like, he pulled me over because I'm black.
No, he didn't. He pulled you over because you were speeding.
Pulled you over because you're driving a red BMW
and you're speeding.
Yeah. You don't get that at all? Like, really?
Like that's my thing. Like,
there is a fine line. Police to be able to do their job.
I want police to be able to police.
Yes, and if certain actions result in bad things happening, let's deal with it after they've happened, not before. Don't make these people be scared to do their job, because if they can't do their job, more people are going to suffer because of it.
I feel like I'm walking a fine line of being a hypocrite here, because I'm sure that I've said in previous videos of how I feel, and I don't want to be hypocritical, but it's because there's such a fine line of what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah,
in some of these cases,
when the media starts getting words of police officers scared to do their job,
that's when
that in itself is worrisome.
To me, that's a problem of society and lawmakers. You know what I mean? So I think if you take a lot of these situations, I just said it 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, a minute ago. If you take and legalize prostitution and drugs, you're taking a lot of the, like, gang activity is centered around drugs, prostitution. So if you legalize those two things, what are you doing? You're taking those out of the gang activity and you're putting them into the rotation of everyday life. Are you still? It's not going to put crime to zero. That's not what we're trying to do. Because
ideally, crime would love to be zero,
but it's impossible.
Yes,
it's impossible. You're living in a fantasy world if you think that it can be zero. Hate is always going to be there. Crime is always going to be there.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to do is you're trying to mitigate it, and you're trying to put it to its lowest value, right? So the more things we make illegal, the more potential for crime.
Yes, and and the governments love meddling and stuff, and this is where me as a conservative comes into views. Like, we don't need government meddling in everything. We need less government.
Way less.
This is what I state. This is why I'm a conservative, is because less government means more other stuff.
But you know what less government means? More personal responsibility, and people don't want that. See, I'm more of a conservative person, but I'm also very liberal in a lot of areas, because I feel that you should have the freedom to do as you want, as long as
more people tend to be in the middle than they tend to be far right or far
and
left.
People don't realize that. I don't think people realize this, because we're so ingrained in a stigma of conservatives and liberals and rights and lefts and whatever, and it's like, well, why can't I be everything? Why can't I be both? Yeah. Why can't I be conservative on one issue and liberal on another? You know what I mean? When it comes to laws, I'm very, I don't know, would it be liberal or conservative? Because I want
both.
less laws?
Well, no, a little bit of both. Because you want, in the sense of less government, so that's conservative, but you also want a less
regulation, and less, would that be conservative?
Again, that's also conservative. But you're okay with, like, a conservative would be anti-drug, whereas liberal would be
pro-drug.
Pro-drug, and you're pro-drug. Yeah. So it's that nuance
I'm
that
not
everybody.
Pro-drug. I'm just okay if my neighbor does a line of cocaine in his own house. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
As long as he stays in his own house,
as long as he
doesn't
doesn't
bother me. If he wants to have a conversation while high, sure.
But as long as he doesn't try to rob my house while he's high. Because if he does, you're going to get a knife to the forehead.
If you come out and meet me in my backyard and you're naked, we're done.
We have a problem.
Okay. Yeah. Unless you're a hot chick, in which case it's still a little weird.
Yeah, I'm still not going to do anything. I'm just going to look at you and go, can you please leave my yard?
Well, I was talking about fence to fence.
My wife is
She's on one side of the fence.
Like, what are you doing? And I'm going to be like, nothing.
She was trying to have a conversation. Yeah. I swear.
Yeah.
My hands are right here.
I don't know why she's naked.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, we live in just a very weird world right now. We live in such a... Everybody's butthurt over words, and people are...
Triggered. People are triggered.
So triggered over everything.
Stupid things.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. And we're starting to see the ramifications of it, and the bad side of it. We're starting to see people who are supposed to be protecting us and supposed to be doing good not being able to do that because of
triggered.
Yeah, because of triggered people and people who want to fit their own narratives in their own world and can't see.
Yeah, I've heard of a female police officer in Chicago. She didn't want to pull her gun in a situation, and it ended up getting beat by like 3 gang members. And it's just like,
you shouldn't be scared to do that.
I'm sorry, the police officer... I feel bad for her because she got put into a position she didn't want to be a statistic, which she ended up becoming anyways.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, did you really do a good job in getting a beat down?
Yeah.
Because you're a cop. You shouldn't
be worried about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stop it, world.
Yeah, it's scary. I want people to be able to do their jobs without having to worry about being labeled an ist, a racist, a bigot, blah blah blah.
But at the same time, I want to be able to. I want to prosecute the people who are using race and sex as hate. I want, you know, if you do something wrong and you're a police officer, you shouldn't be above the law if you are proven to kill somebody because of their race or because of their gender. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah.
So again, it's the fine line. Have we solved anything here in this video? Of course not, because nothing will ever be solved because we all have different minds and different opinions, and I think we're just here to try to educate people and to be in the middle as most best we can. You know. So
to a degree,
yeah.
I kind of agree. I'm always been in law enforcement. I support them. You know, I have no problems.
I think
with
sometimes,
police.
I think sometimes my view can be misconstrued of I hate police and I hate laws enforcement, but it's not. And
but you still have a different opinion.
Yep.
Then that's what counts. Is we are allowed to have different opinions.
Absolutely.
You can listen, but you don't have to care.
Or you can just scroll on by.
That's true.
Because that's your right. It's your ability to do that. It's great. It's a fantastic thing. So let us know down below what you guys think about what's happened in the world, what's going on, and
do you think your police officers are handicapped?
Yeah. And
either way,
subscribe, because we talk about stuff like this all the time.
Yes, we do.
Sometimes over and over because it keeps popping up all the time. It's weird.
Yeah, it's almost like deja vu sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
See ya.
Later.